Welcome back to the Stebbins Garage YouTube channel. In today's video, we're working on my Mercedes GLA45 AMG. We're going to get rid of this ugly stock grille that came on it. We're going to put this nice GT grille on. We're going to keep my radar cruise and also the front 360 camera. Stay tuned. Okay, car is started up in the air. My wheels are off. I'm going to do a brake pad change while it's up. You don't have to do that, but it probably makes it a little easier. First up, there are 5, I think, T25 Torques up here. Those need to come off, and then we'll go underneath the car and start taking stuff off there. Next up, we're going to take out 1, 2, 3 pins. Next up, we've got a bunch of silver screws that will need to come out. You just look, you'll see this is the part that's got to come out right along here. Once you have all those screws out, the inner fender will be loose, and you can actually just pull it away. So there's one bolt up in here we'll have to get to. And first, this is a GLA45, not an A45. So it has the side pieces, and we've got to actually remove those up to about here so that we can move them out of the way. Okay, so I've got these clips off. Essentially, you just go behind there on most of them and you press kind of like this and push that in a little bit and just gently pull. There shouldn't be any double-sided tape. Again, mine have been off before because I've had these painted. It does get into double-sided tape up there. All we need to do is be able to pull the bumper out enough to get it off the car. So that's all you should need to do. Just go real gentle. You don't want to pull on that and break it. So I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll be ready to pull one screw out of inside of there. I'll show that to you, and it'll be good. Okay, there's the screw you need to get. I believe it's a 10 millimeter. I'm going to use a swivel and an extension. For reference, there's another one. There's actually 2 in there, so I got to get the other one. It's probably helpful to have somebody else here, but it's just me. Right, there's wires on mine that are hooked up still, so I've got to unhook those before we can actually take this fully off. All right, there's 2 more sensors in here. One's for the parking, and the other is for the camera. There's a duct in there that was supposed to come out. All right, this duct should have come out. I didn't take it out. There's 3 bolts that you can get to from the bottom. Pull that out. I didn't realize. I've had this off before. It's been a while, so I forgot. No big deal. Okay, so we've got to get these plastic pieces out, and it looks like they just unclip. Okay, on this bumper piece, the back side of this, you need to get something in there and pry this way and push that in so that it will pop out. it sucks. All right, next up we're going to be removing all these clips. These clips are part of the grill, whatever, and so you're going to be moving them inward and then releasing. I'm going to go real gingerly because I don't want to break anything. I'll see if I can get you in here a little closer. Okay, so you need a flat-bladed screwdriver like this, and you're just going to push in like that and gently pull up. Once you get a few started, it'll go pretty quick. Alright, so I need to take this camera out. I'm hoping that the camera will bolt right back in, and I'm going to probably just have to notch the grill, but I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know if it's part of that assembly or what, so we're going to take it out so I can get it out of the way. I just popped my emblem in. I have the Distronic radar cruise. So this is some kind of transparent stuff. Don't be like me. Don't try. It doesn't twist. All you do is you go in and you need to release the top tab, and then it just gently pushes through. Just take your time and you'll get it. Here is the camera mount. And essentially what I'm going to have to do is cut the grill from this car and glue it or something into the other one. That's the only way I see that this will work. So I wasn't going to go back to the other grill anyway, and I probably wouldn't have sold this one. But that's the plan. We're going to go ahead and cut this, and we will put this into the other car. One other thing you'll need to do is put these pieces on. They only go one way. There are 3 holes on either side, and this just slides on basically like that, and then you screw it in. So I'll do that with 2 hands, but that's what you do. Next morning, I've made some marks where I'm going to start cutting, and I've already taken the piece off from the original grill. This is like just a cover, and then the camera's over here. I have to figure out exactly how to mount the camera once I get it in. I may 3D print something, or I may just kind of do some kind of hacky solution. Here's the initial pieces I took off. It's just this part here, just to get where I could get to a flat part. And then I have this template, which came off the other one. We're going to put that right there so I know where to cut for the camera to sit. And then I'm going to make a trim there, and then we'll work on the rib here. I'm going to go really slow on the rib, cutting down on that so that we get a nice fit. Slowly working my way down. Got that where we will be able to now cut this rib. I'm going to cut it higher in the front, and then we'll work our way down in the back. Okay, I have cut that opening where this will go right down there. It still needs to go down about 1/4 inch, which is what the difference is there. So now what I need to do is actually trim the aftermarket grill, and I'm going to trim it in such a way that I can layer these. So I'm going to have to trim part of the outer of this off, and then I want to trim part of this grill off so that it kind of stair steps. And what that'll let me do is have a secure mounting point. My plan is, I think, to either use 2-sided tape or some screws, and then, I mean, that'll be plenty to hold this cover, and then we'll figure out the camera. All it needs to do is be on there firmly. Okay, I have this trimmed like this, This will fit basically like that, and then we'll put a couple screws from the bottom side that are countersunk just to hold that cover in place. Here's the problem. When the camera is looking out, it's going to see the tip of that rib. And so really all I need to do is shave that rib back, and then we'll make something to fill that in or whatever. I'm not terribly worried about it. If I can just get that to where it'll work, then I can 3D print something and paint it and plop it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and shave that down some more in the front, and I think that will get us where we need to be. Trim this rib down. Like I said, I'm going to make a piece to go over that. It'll look just like stock when I'm done with it. I did go ahead and pop some holes in this. My screws are obviously way too long. I'm going to cut those down, and we only need those to be just very short. And then that camera housing will be done. I'm going to countersink the bottom and put a little black paint on those. You'll never see them. Only you and I will know they're there. And then I can focus on getting the camera mounted and getting the grill back in the car. Both these holes are countersunk. I'm ready to go ahead and put my piece in. I have already cut these screws down and put a little paint on them. I can touch them up if needed. They're going to tuck up under there and you'll never see them anyway. I have this piece installed now. It looks really good. As I said, I just cut those screws down. Those are stainless, so they won't rust. I'm going to make a little cap that just slides on there at some point. I'm not terribly worried about it. I think it doesn't look bad now, other than there's a little opening. So for now, I might just make a little piece to go over it, but I'll 3D print something later. It's easy enough to do after the fact. Let's go ahead and get the camera installed. I made a little cube, and this is ready to bolt in. I have one more that I'm making. I had a little snafu with my printer, but the camera looks like it'll be nice and centered. I've got a little leeway moving it back and forth. So I'm going to get that one off the printer. Essentially all I did was print a cube. There's 2 screws here, and then there's 1 screw there. You can see I've got some room to move it over. And I'll loosen that up once I get it where I want it, the other one in. And then essentially we'll have a functioning camera. And like I said, we'll make a piece for there. And that'll be it. I'm going to go ahead and install it back on the car. I did the brakes while I was waiting. So they're done. Okay, there's my cube. There is the screw that came with the camera. I already run it through a couple times, so it's got threads now. What we're going to do is put this on the grill and then run 2 screws up the bottom, and we'll be good. Okay, I've got it in and mounted. Both the blocks are in. Camera is sitting where I want it. So I think we're good. Time to put this in. Okay, the grill is in. Everything fits nicely. Time to throw this thing back in the car. Don't be like me and forget to install your foam or these pieces. I did notice I had to trim these a little bit to get them to fit right around this little part here. So put them up there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have designed and printed 2 pieces for the grill to fill in the void. This one is a cap that will go on the top part. It will go kind of like that. And then this will be the grill opening that you'll see. So I'm going to glue these in. Let me show you. Okay, so here we are at the grill. This piece will slide in. Just like that. It's going to be a cap, so it'll just get glued on. And then this is the other one. This will emulate the lower piece. Although not perfect, it'll be close enough. and then it will get glued on basically just like that. And so between those two, we will have a completed grill. So before I put these on, I'm gonna go ahead and coat this one. Oh, I dropped it again. We're gonna spray this with some clear just so it's nice and shiny and a little bit smoother. And this one I don't need to do anything with other than we'll just glue it in there. So I'm gonna tape off the grill so I don't accidentally get any glue or anything anywhere, and we'll be good. There's our final piece. It's waiting for the glue to dry basically. Once it's all dry, I'll pull that off and you can see the final result. So that's going to do it for another episode of Stebbins Garage. I hope you enjoyed the install. It's fairly straightforward. If you don't have the camera, the grill's really easy to swap out. If you do have the camera, you can still do it. I did it, so can you. See you on the next one.